All right. Welcome
Why
back
can I not hear anybody?
to. You can hear me right now. We are back to Tenement TV live today. Halloween. We got Plug. We got Sam from Wolf Sports. Guys, I for spooky season, I wore the scariest thing I could possibly think of, which right now is Indiana athletics. So, I mean that I could not imagine a scarier thing to be going up against right now in college football. So, that's where we are at. Plug, how are we doing, man?
Doing good, man. I dressed up as a degenerate gambler today, so here I am for
Can you
Halloween.
can you
But
guys
yeah,
hear me?
man, I'm ready.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh my god, it's
Can you hear
so
me?
delayed. It's so delayed. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good now.
Uh oh.
Sorry. Go ahead, Bug.
All right.
No, you're good now.
Yeah, man. Uh, None. Just ready to get to it, man. Excited to talk some NFL with you guys. NBA, obviously. Congratulations to the Dodgers. I was expecting to see another game at least, but that just wasn't in the cards. But anyway, hats off to the Dodgers for winning the World Series. But yeah, man, officially baseball is over. Heading into college basketball season. Can't wait. But definitely ready to talk some football, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Sam, all good now? We all think
I think
we're
we're
all
good.
caught up. All right,
I
cool,
think we're good.
cool.
You guys just said like a
All right.
thousand words in the span of like 10 seconds. So it's like,
Yeah. Hey, well, the takes come fast. Whenever the takes start
they
coming, they
they,
start
they
coming
come
fast.
flying.
So yeah. So we can start there. What did you guys think? Were you surprised by what you saw in the World Series? Were you pleased with the result? I think we can probably all agree that the better team ended up winning. But what were just kind of some of your general takeaways, or really, I guess any thoughts that you had coming out of the World Series?
I'll go first because mine's not going to be very long. I'm not a much of a baseball guy, but I hate the Yankees. I think they're annoying. I'm a Cubs fan, and the Yankees and the Dodgers, they're both really annoying, but I think I'd rather have the Dodgers win. Clearly, I think they have the best two players in the field. Freddie Freeman. They're talking about like the legend of Freddie Freeman in New York now. Um, and yeah, no, I think they're just overall a better team. Like from like the 6 games of them I watched this year, they seem like the better team. Even with Otani hurt, they still pulled it out. So
Yeah,
Plug.
that's it.
they were definitely the Dodgers were impressive, man. They really were. I wanted to see the Yankees. I wasn't really rooting for the Yankees, but I was rooting for them to push it out a little more, to extend it a little bit. I would like to see it a bit more challenging than what it was. Obviously the one thing that really did surprise me, but not really surprise me, was Freddie Freeman. I think he was terrific. I mean, Jesus, man. He definitely made a name in New York. And, I think Yankee fans are going to be definitely, remembering Freddie Freeman's name for quite a while. Because, I mean, he shut him down. He took a lot of, he ripped the soul right out of the Yankees single handedly, I think. But yeah, it was pretty impressive. What about? I want to know your guys' take real quick, man. On what do you guys feel about the guys in the stands
Dude, I was
grabbing?
just thinking, it's so funny you say that. I was just thinking about that. I was trying to sit here and pull up a picture of that. One of the most insane things I think I've ever seen. I mean,
Incredible,
like,
bro.
and just kind of getting back to your thing about Freddie Freeman, and this is now twice that he's done this, right? He did this in Atlanta when in their World Series run, and then now
Oh,
he's
very
kind of
true.
now, granted, I mean Acuna had a big role in that as well, but like, look, he's seasoned. He knows how to kind of step up in these big moments. So that's really ultimately what we want to see is guys who like him stepping up in big clutch moments. You know, the thing that was shocking to me that they mentioned last night was that Giancarlo Stanton has 18 home runs in the playoffs with the Yankees in his career. When did all of these home runs happen? Like, do you guys remember? Like, that seems like so many, does it not?
No, it's a lot. Well, Stan has been in the league for how long though? I don't know how many times they've actually been to. You said the World Series.
No, in the playoffs.
Oh
Just
yeah, in the playoffs. I mean, that kind of makes a little sense to me.
uh,
That does make more sense to me. Than the. I thought at first you said the World Series, but yeah, no, that makes a little sense to me. I can see it. I mean, just in this playoff stretch alone, how many did he hit? Just in the World Series alone, he hit 3 bombs. I think 3 or 4, right?
yeah. But I
So
mean,
I mean,
18 is a lot, you know. And
18 is a lot. I agree, but
then you have the Yankees. They have not won. Still holds. They have not won a playoff series versus a non AL Central team since 2012.
wow, I didn't know that.
So you know, unless they're beating up on the Twins, the Tigers, the Royals, or the Guardians, which I think may have some of those matchups may have even included the Indians.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
pre-Guardians era.
back up
So,
here, guys. Since when did they change the name? I saw them playing the Guardian. I'm like, who the heck are the Guardians? I've never even heard of that.
yeah,
It's been
And
a
then I
few
look, and
years.
then
I want to say
oh,
it was like
geez, that's
2021, right?
Yeah,
It was
it's been a few
uh,
years.
2021, like around the same time. It was shortly around the same time that the Redskins became the Commanders. It was kind of like
Yep.
yeah.
those two things kind of happened. And what's funny is so the here in Indianapolis we have a AAA affiliate for the Pirates. So Paul Skeens was actually
Oh,
he was pitching here like all year until he got promoted, and they are the Indianapolis Indians. And there was a little bit of momentum for people to, there was a somewhat of an uprising around the same time. Like, well, it's time for them to change the name too. And I don't know, they kind of defeat. I think in a little bit they, it's in the name, right? It's Indianapolis Indians. So I think it kind of they were able to wiggle out of that one and hold the name. So I don't know.
I gotcha.
Yeah, like you said, plug with that fan. I I just don't know. I mean, he got banned from attending the game, and I've just
At
never seen. I
first,
mean,
he
this guy
wasn't
was
going
getting
to.
mugged. I mean, think about if Mookie Betts would have been injured, right? Like, because
That's my whole thing.
they are twisting this man's hand, reaching into the glove. I mean, what just insane behavior. I have a lot of friends that said, well, this is just, typical what to expect from the Yankees. So I don't know, but it was a good series. I think it was probably about as entertaining as a 4-1 series is capable of being.
Right?
Uh, the Yankees, for people that hate the Yankees, they certainly had a good time last night with their multiple just complete meltdowns defensively, not covering the bases. I don't really know what was going on in that inning when it just kind of all unraveled and fell apart. But either
Anything
way,
that could have went wrong for the Yankees yesterday. I mean, if you watch that game, it was one thing after another that just went wrong. And you kind of felt it. Like you kind of felt when them first runs were put on the board for the Dodgers. I'm telling y'all, I felt it. I knew. I said, "Yo, Yankees," and they weren't. The Yankees were still winning, and I was like, "Yo, Yankees are losing this game." Like I knew it right away, and sure enough, man, it happened. But yeah, I kind of felt it. I was really just in awe the downfall that happened after, because it literally was one thing after another. But it is
well,
what it is.
they started out up 5-0,
5-0.
blew
And
That's a
that.
catastrophic error. Like,
Yeah,
yes, it was an
seriously.
error. It was an error. I mean, dude, there was a couple of them. But there is
a
just
balk.
it was just downhill from there. Everything just started unraveling, one mistake after another. Next thing you know, I mean, it's tie game, and everybody in the stadium knew, like, Dodgers are winning this game.
I do have one more stat before we move on to football, is because baseball's always full of like crazy stats, and this is the first time since Oil Can Boyd that this happened, or it's always something like crazy, right? So um, the Yankees are the only Major League Baseball team to blow a 5-run lead, allow 5 allow 5+ earned runs, commit 3 or more errors, commit catcher's interference, and commit a balk all in the same game, regular season or postseason, ever since earned runs became an official stat in 1913. So this is the first time since 1913 that we saw something like that all happen in the same game. And it just so happened to occur on the biggest stage in the World Series, which
In an elimination game.
in an elimination
Do
game.
you guys think that's coaching though?
Well, they've had defensive problems all year.
Yes. I don't think it's coaching.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say it was only, I mean, that was kind of why I leaned to the Dodgers to win the series to begin with, just because, you know, even though I said I felt that the Yankees had a starting pitching advantage because, you know, the Dodgers were kind of piecing things together with bullpen guys and, you know, their pitching rotation that I guess that they planned to start the season with was a shell of what they kind of entered this World Series with. But ultimately, they still had guys who can throw hard and get outs, and that's in the World Series. It kind of comes down to that a lot more. I mean, you see guys getting brought in all different sorts of random. I mean, Walker Buehler started 2 games ago, and last night he was closing. So it's all things are on the table as far as pitching goes. Guys are just kind of getting brought in all the time. So really, it's about defense, playing good defense, and about situational hitting. You know, timely hitting. Whenever you when you get guys on, you need to advance them and you need to get them home. Like when guys are in scoring position, you need to take care of business, and that's the way that I see. I mean, that's what the Dodgers do. That's really just what they do. I mean, the Yankees are obviously an incredible team. Soto, Judge, those guys are stars, but they've been a sieve defensively all year. They've had defensive problems the entire season, and we saw it kind of all boiled over last night. So I will say, Soto, I mean, is there anybody else you can envy more than that man going into free agency this year? I mean, what's he going to get? Is he going to get $900 million? Like,
my dad literally was telling me about that. I did not know he signed a 1-year deal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he was
He got traded.
He was on the Nationals contract, or I'm sorry, because he came from the Padres, right? Nationals, then the Padres.
Yeah.
No, he came from the Padres.
Yeah. Nats, and then to the Padres, and then to the Yankees. So, yeah, I don't know. He's going to get a lot, and I know there's a lot of teams lining up, and we'll see if the Yankees, you know, throw down to hang on to him. But this same thing happened to Judge a couple of years ago, right? Where there was a kind of announced that the Giants were signing him, and then next thing you know, the Yankees open up the checkbook and bring him back. So,
I think it's so weird that baseball doesn't have salary caps.
Yeah, I know.
Like, how are the Royals ever supposed to win a World Series? I know they did, but like how? Like what? Like how? Every time a good player goes on one of those teams, they get signed for $500 million from the Yankees. Or Dodgers.
It's funny you mention that. I saw
How is my team not signed anybody? Do we not have a big checkbook?
Well, here's the thing about the Ricketts. They
don't
like to spend.
Bigger than some of the others. That's
all. The Ricketts like to make money more than they like to spend it. And
of course.
Although I will say, I was thinking this last night, is that the Cubs, whenever they broke up Javi Baez, Anthony Rizzo, and Chris Bryant, there were a lot of people a lot of my friends were like very sad about that, and understandably so. I mean, really, all 3 of those guys, they kind of got rid of at the right time because those guys fell apart fast. Now, you can be mad about losing Kyle Schwarber, who, by the way, guess where he went to school? Any guesses? Yeah,
I can give you one.
Yeah, Kyle Schwarber. So, I don't know. I did see an interesting post earlier that was talking about how the movie Moneyball, how it's like this movie did not age well. It's like not only the A's are relocating / moving, right? The 2 teams with the highest payrolls just got to the World Series.
I like that movie.
Right, it's a good movie, but it's like it didn't age well because you got the A's are essentially dying. Like that model is dead. The 2 teams that spend the most money both made it to the World Series. And the person that Jonah Hill's character was based on made the worst trade in NFL history.
Yep.
with Deshaun Watson. So it's
No.
not great in hindsight looking back at that movie, but hey, still a good movie. I liked it. Getting into, so as we move, I guess, in towards football.
I
Yeah,
don't
go
mean to
ahead.
interrupt. So
Yeah.
so what I've been spending the last 2 minutes building. Do you guys know Nick Wright?
Oh yeah.
So when I watch any NFL analysis, I watch Nick Wright. I think he's hilarious. And he does. Do you guys know Mahomes Mountain?
Well, I was just gonna say we have so many conversations about Mahomes not being good from a guy. Okay, I'll let you go. I'll let you
So
go.
Yeah, I kinda
Mahomes
get where this
Mountain,
is going.
Mahomes Mountain is he builds this mountain every week with all the major quarterbacks, and it's literally a mountain. And you got the bottom row and how they play. Some people aren't even on the mountain, like Deshaun Watson's off the mountain. He's not even on the mountain. So I've spent the last, few minutes building out a mountain. Okay, so this is my top 14 quarterbacks in order, and I'm
Let's
going to give
hear
them to
it.
you. And I want to hear your thoughts because Zach over here, for anybody who doesn't know, keeps promoting this Patrick Mahomes blasphemy. Okay, so the bottom row, guys, we have Kirk Cousins, okay, Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield, and Kyler Murray, all playing pretty good football. Better than Jordan Love. Jordan Love's not even on this, but all pretty good football. Right above that level, you have C.J. Stroud, who just lost Stephon Diggs, and Nico Collins is still hurt, so that's why he's on that level. Justin Herbert, who played absolutely amazing. Jalen Hurts, and you have Patrick Mahomes, who's on the same level as these guys. I would say Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert probably are playing better football than Patrick Mahomes. All the quarterbacks this year that are better than Patrick Mahomes, and you cannot argue with me.
Don't understand.
Matthew Stafford, correct. Jared Goff, definitely correct. Jaden Daniels, correct.
I've only heard one quarterback mentioned, by the way, besides Patrick Mahomes so far that has a Super Bowl ring. And only two that have Super Bowl. Only two that have Super Bowl appearances.
Then we got the top three is Josh Allen, number one, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow. So that's my quarterback mountain, guys. Patrick Mahomes has more interceptions than he has touchdowns.
Yes.
Well, if that was Lamar Jackson, nobody would even be talking about Lamar Jackson. He'd be being crapped on. But it doesn't matter how many Super Bowl appearances you have. Patrick Mahomes is not playing top 5 quarterback football. I don't even think he's playing top 10. Like, I could legit, like, right now, if you were like, hey, you get this quarterback for the rest of the season, I'm taking 10 guys over Patrick Mahomes. He's playing horrid. And now it's like 7 games. Like, I don't know. That's just my segment, guys. And I'll post that. I'll post that in a cool graphic and I'm gonna @ you, Zach.
Yeah, please do. Because one thing I was just thinking
Caleb
about.
Williams. Caleb Williams is better than Patrick Mahomes right now. But continue.
What is the record of Patrick Mahomes' team right now?
So you're a quarterback wins guy?
No, but I'm just saying because I feel like the Patrick Mahomes slander has gotten uncontrolled. It's gotten so far off the rails. I mean, where I'm like, now I am being seen as like a crazy person because I think Patrick Mahomes is good.
I think you are.
Like, I am just being
Do you think he's playing good?
I think he is winning games, and it's what I said the other night is that at the end of the day, you watch the end of these games, and he is not trying to win fantasy football championships. He's trying to win Super Bowls, and the end of game, they've had a lot of games that have like kind of come down to the wire, games that have come down to coin flip games, right? Because what I like to do is when you categorize teams that are good, bad, average, you look at how many legit wins do they have, how many legit losses do they have, like games they deserve to win, games they deserve to lose, and then games that are coin flips, games that could have gone either way, because that's how I feel like that's a good way to figure out, hey,
Fair.
What is the true record of a team? What is this team for real? Do they have a legitimate, like, good record or not? That's how you like separate pretenders from contenders, right? So the Chiefs right now are in that zone where there's a lot of their games that are coin flip games that could have gone either way. And do you know who tilts the scales in those coin flip matchups?
Okay,
Number
sick.
15.
Let
Number
me
15
ask you a
is
question.
Patrick Mahomes.
So,
That is who he
I
solves
don't,
problems. Like he figures it out. Like
I won't
as,
go down the Patrick Mahomes rabbit hole, but let me just play a proposal out, or like a speculative reality in your head. If Patrick Mahomes keeps playing the way he's playing, and they win the Super Bowl, and let's say they go 15-2, but he plays exactly the same as he did from the first 7 weeks through the rest of the year, do you still think he's the best quarterback in the world?
yes. If they win the Super Bowl, yes. Yes.
But their defense hasn't allowed more than 28 points in a game. Like they have the best defense in the world.
I know, but the Patriots defense was very good during the time of Tom Brady as well. So like you need it all. You need it all to win.
Tom Brady never had like objectively a bad season.
Maybe I'll put it into terms that might be a little bit easier to understand, and then I want to hear what Plug thinks. But we just watched Commanders Bears on Sunday. How well do you think Caleb Williams played for, let's say, like 75 to 80% of that game?
He did not play good.
Look, not very good. Not very good. But I am not a Caleb Williams hater. I am like in the minority in some of our spaces of like people that like I feel very strongly about Caleb Williams and that he's going to be very good in this league. But guess what? Do you know what he did at the end of that game? He figured it out. He solved problems. He figured it out, and he put them in a position to win that game, and he turned it around. And like that loss, I'm not going to put that on him, that because guess what? There was another really good guy on the other sideline who just so happened to have an extra solution and got the ball last. So that's where I feel like Patrick Mahomes separates, is that when he gets the ball, he could throw 8 interceptions in a game. But if he gets the ball with a minute and a half to go and they need a touchdown, guess what's probably going to happen?
That's fair. I will send it over to Plug, but I will say Caleb Williams is a rookie. Patrick Mahomes is deemed the greatest quarterback to ever live. So they're held to different standards. Patrick Mahomes has thrown more interceptions than he has touchdowns. Like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter how many games. If Brock Purdy did the same thing, Brock Purdy would be labeled as he's a system quarterback, and guys, he only wins because his team is good. If it was Brock Purdy, but because it's Patrick Mahomes, oh no, he's playing amazing. He's the best quarterback in the world, but he's objectively not. But Plug, go ahead.
All right, so I can agree with both of you.
No.
So here's the thing I agree with Zach about. Mahomes is the best quarterback in the world. No doubt. Okay? This year, he is not. This year, he is not playing well. I think that Kansas City is getting, yes, he is good in clutch situations. That's without a doubt. Exactly as you said, Sam, that it is defense for Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes this year, right now, current quarterback, Mahomes ain't in my top 5. On God, he's not in my top 5. I don't like what I'm seeing from Patrick Mahomes, period. And maybe that's because he set such a high expectation for himself over all these years that everyone is finally seeing him have some flaws that maybe people are overreacting a little bit. He's still winning games. He's still figuring out. They have a very good shot at winning the Super Bowl. But you still got to look at the quarterbacks. When we're talking about a position, we're talking about quarterback play. Right now, you got Lamar Jackson, Jared Goff, Joe Burrow, I think, is playing well, but Joe Burrow might not even be my top 5 right now. I love what I'm seeing from Goff, okay? Obviously, he has the weapons that helps. Lamar Jackson is playing great. Josh Allen is playing great. These are quarterbacks that I like right now. Right now, Mahomes is not in my top. But I do still think overall, Mahomes is the best quarterback to ever touch a football, bro. And I honestly believe that.
So if you're building a team, your object is to win a Super Bowl right now. Every quarterback is a free agent. Who are the first 3 quarterbacks off the board to win a Super Bowl this season?
Right now,
you go ahead, Plug.
All right, right now off the board for me, it's going to be Allen, Lamar, and Goff. Right now.
So
Uh,
you just mentioned 3 people with 0 Super Bowl rings. Sam, you go next.
okay, so number one, Goff. I think Goff's playing amazing, but I have to see him a little bit more. Like he's great and his team's great. I think Goff is like the step above a system quarterback. He's the best system quarterback in the league, but he's just like a little better than that. I would say Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the world. Lamar Jackson and Justin Herbert / Joe Burrow. Either one. And you could say, oh, they don't have. No one else gets Andy Reid. Like no one else was born into the Andy Reid system.
So that's
I
what I
mean,
was even going to
Justin
say.
Herbert had nobody. Like he had nobody.
If we took, and I do agree on the Justin Herbert thing because he's already he's on his 3rd head coach now.
Yeah.
You know, he's been through, you know, the Chargers. Obviously, we all remember the Phillip Rivers time where this was a guy who probably with most other franchises might have made his way into a Super Bowl, but because he was, you know, stuck on the dysfunctional Chargers and a team that just finds ways to lose games, you know, he just couldn't quite get out of that vortex. But, you know, because I don't know why it's supposed to be Patrick Mahomes' fault that they have a good defense. Like, why is that his, like, why should he be punished for that?
No,
Because,
it's
like I've
not.
said,
It's
nobody does it alone. Nobody wins Super Bowls without a good defense. You know, even we look at the last handful of Super Bowl winners. You know, or even the teams that just get there. All of those teams they play good defense. I mean, the Rams, they won the Super Bowl. They had a great defense. You know, they had probably the most dominant or most dominant defensive player in the league at that time in Aaron Donald, along with at that time who was considered no worse than top 3 shutdown corner in Jalen Ramsey. So is that Matt Stafford's fault? Were people saying, "Oh, well, you know, Matt Stafford didn't. He just got here because they had a great defense." No, but because Patrick Mahomes has been so good, I feel like it gets held against him now that people try to find whatever angles they can to discredit him because they don't exist. They
and
don't
that's
exist.
exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
And you're not crazy for saying what you're saying. People have a chance to kind of now take advantage of that against you because he is playing poorly this year. But you
Right.
got to
Right.
look at him collectively, man. He has set such a high standard when it comes to playing that quarterback position that I mean, come on, man. Like, you can't hold a bad year against this guy. And I'm with you 100% in that. If we're talking about this year, I got to say, he's not in my top quarterback play. Overall, as a team, I think with the defense, Kansas City, the few key weapons they have on offense, including their quarterback, yes, Kansas City is one hell of a unit, man. And they are one of the top teams in the NFL without a doubt. But when it comes to single handedly talking about Mahomes this year, no, I mean he is average right now. I mean he's playing like an average quarterback. Do we know? We know that this guy is not an average quarterback. He is just having an average year, and that's okay. It's going to happen.
Right.
I just feel like as a sports fan or a sports enthusiast, people like to run with that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, and like, you know, even like I had the comment up from Sal where it's like it's the trendy thing to do right now is to hate
Bash
on Patrick
Mahomes.
Mahomes, which
Boom. There you
I'm
go.
sorry, I'm not there, and like I will die on that hill. And you know, like I said, I'm like now in our weekly spaces, I'm kind of being like fashioned as this like lunatic who's just this Patrick Mahomes truther. Like I'm this crazy Patrick Mahomes truther who is like trying to, you know, I'm so unreasonable. Like, my bad. I'm sorry. This guy who has just dominated his way towards all these Super Bowls is just, I'm just supposed to believe that he's just not good anymore. But
Yeah, no,
I don't
you're
know.
not crazy, bro.
I'm not sitting here looking at box scores saying, yeah, oh my God, Patrick Mahomes is killing it right now. No, but I just think there's a level of experience with him now at this point where he's not trying to throw 4 touchdowns a game. He's not trying to throw for 400 yards a game. He doesn't have to prove that anymore. He just doesn't. They need to win games, and he understands my goal is to make sure that I put this team in a position to win. And, right now that is a little bit more relying on their defense, but at the end of the day, they haven't lost. They're 7-0, and look at their upcoming games. Like, there's not a whole lot of losses coming up on the horizon either. I mean, sure, they'll get tripped up here or there. That they might get, it's the NFL. I mean, any given Sunday, anything can happen. I mean, they're
Right.
not going to go undefeated. Although if they did, like, disinvite me to those spaces immediately because it's gonna get ugly.
We're gonna kill him. No,
But
I don't think you're crazy, bro. I don't at all. I don't know why anyone would think you're crazy.
it's
But
just like you said, it's the hot thing right now. It's like, oh
yeah,
man,
man,
let's
that's
let's
all it
let's
is,
push him
bro.
to the side. It's time to push Patrick Mahomes to the side and start to like see who's next up. But I don't know.
Right. My guys on my team make fun of me all the time because I'm big on Josh Allen. Like
I am
I
too.
think yeah, I love Josh Allen, bro. And my guys on my team like always make fun of me like, Plug, you got a Josh Allen fat head in your room, and you know, yeah, I got a Josh Allen uh sheets. I got Josh Allen everything, bro, apparently. But I just think he's a good quarterback, bro, and they think I'm crazy because I say that. Opinions in sports are very, very strong when it comes to different minds, bro. And that's all there is to it. Some minds you can't change. But it is what it is. I don't think you're crazy, Pete. I do, like I said, I can see where Sam's coming from. I can see where you're coming from. But by no means do I think Patrick Mahomes is not one of the best quarterbacks in the world. He
You
definitely
know,
is.
I'm reading Sal's comments over here.
Sal's speaking the
Sal,
truth. Sal's just coming in with
Sal.
truth.
Let,
Just
let me let
true
me just tell.
comments.
It's not hating. I'm not denying his greatness, but we're comparing him. They say he's the best of all time. Okay, they say he's better than Aaron Rodgers. They say he's better than Tom Brady. Like, is he? Like, he had a few good years, but the
I
last 2 years
mean,
his stats have been terrible. Like, compared to those great quarterbacks, they've been terrible.
He's
So just
also
because
not
you're
been in the
winning,
league that long. I think if we look
sure,
ahead,
sure.
give him
Do
time,
you,
man. And,
yeah.
and
do
he
you
don't even
think
need
do
time right now. I don't think.
do you think
I
Terry Bradshaw is the best quarterback to ever live?
so
Just
Terry
because he won
Bradshaw.
Super Bowls,
No,
just
but
because he won
he
Super Bowls,
existed in an era before fantasy football, so he didn't get
that
looked at through the fantasy football lens that everybody views now, which is like, well, Patrick Mahomes isn't throwing for 304 tutties every week. He must be sucking. But
I'm not. I'm not giving him. See, okay, I
and
can't handle the
see,
truth.
that's not
Okay,
even what
Sal.
I'm trying to say. That's not even the argument I'm trying to make because I think that we need to wait until the book is closed on his career before we get there, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
and I
I
think
Yeah.
I think we'll be having a really different discussion next year when we come into week. What week are we coming into?
9. We are in
9.
week 9 right now.
We'll be when we're coming into week 9 next year with the Kansas City Chiefs. You
So
know,
if we're coming into week 9 next year and he had the same stats, pretty much the same, just over for full course of a season and going into next season, the first 8 weeks he's having these stats. Like, he's not the best quarterback in the league. Do you think Brock Purdy? If last year, what were your guys' opinions on Brock Purdy?
I think that I think there's
Like,
truth to both angles, right? I think number one, is he in a quarterback friendly system? Yes, absolutely.
mhm.
Were people acting like you could just put anyone in there and they would still be as good? No.
Yeah,
So, and it's like I said, like Brock Purdy, like people completely seem to have forgotten his sophomore and like junior season at Iowa State. He was like up there on the lit, like, hey, this guy's like an NFL quarterback prospect. Like he
yeah,
was
he was
up there
supposed
on
to
the
be
draft
like
board.
that guy.
Right. He had a rough senior year because the team sucked. Like that team, like they had a really bad roster. They sucked. He didn't put up these crazy stats, and the next thing you know, he gets bumped down. He get now taken in the 7th round, and but he always kind of had the goods. Now, he's not like top 5, but he's fine. I think he gets unfairly slandered the same way because people are looking for the stats. And
his first 18 starts, he was 16-2. Like he never lost. The only games he lost were the Eagles game that he didn't play in, and then the Super Bowl or whatever it was. Like he won a bunch of games in a row, and everyone was calling him a system quarterback. Just because you win doesn't make you a great quarterback. Like if Patrick Mahomes, there's a lot of quarterback. You don't think you could switch Jared Goff on that Chiefs team and they wouldn't be undefeated? I think they would be. I think they would be with Matthew Stafford. I think they would be with Kyler Murray. You could switch out 20 quarterbacks and they might still be 7-0 or 6-1. Patrick Mahomes is playing mediocre football at best. At best.
Right now, yes.
He's playing winning football.
Average.
He's playing winning football. They're winning games.
Zach, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't just because you're winning games doesn't mean you're playing good quarterback. I could go in there, and I think I'd be 4-3. I think I'd be 4-3. I seriously do. I really do, dude. He's thrown more. If it was anybody else, he's thrown more interceptions than he has touchdowns. Zach, that's terrible. That's not fantasy football. That's terrible. If let me ask you a question.
Like I said, I'm not making an MVP case. I'm not making a
your MVP case. You've called him the best quarterback in the world.
He is. He is because I'm looking because
confidence.
You know why? Because I'm looking beyond 7 games or 8. I'm looking.
But last year he wasn't great either.
I'm looking at the overall. Yeah, and you know what happened last year? Everybody all season long was saying, "Well, this is the time to get the Chiefs. This is the year that somebody else." Even the Ravens had home field advantage, right? And they were like, "This is the year. This is the year to finally the Chiefs. They don't have any receivers. They have injuries all over the place. They were saying last year was the year to you better get in all your hits on the Chiefs this year, and somebody else needs to step up and win." And guess what happened?
I get it. I'm not saying the other quarterbacks don't have their own problems because they have winning problems. It seems like Joe Burrow, he has his own problems, and Lamar has his own problems. He doesn't win in the playoffs. What? Okay, Barnacle Boy. No.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, see,
let me ask you a question.
He said.
I will. One last thing on the Patrick Mahomes thing. Do you think Josh Allen has played Patrick Mahomes level football in the playoffs against him?
Yes. I mean,
okay. So he's done that, and during the regular season, he's better than Patrick Mahomes. So
you won't hear any Josh Allen slander from me. You will not get any Josh Allen.
How is Josh Allen not better than Patrick Mahomes then?
He doesn't have the hardware.
But the hardware is team football. It's team football. Josh Allen is as good as Patrick Mahomes is in the playoffs, and he's better in the regular season. But pure eye test, Josh Allen is better than Patrick Mahomes. Just because he doesn't have the Super Bowl wins, that's not his fault. His team
Josh Allen plays a little bit more reckless at times, and some of those mistakes end up being a little more costly. I don't know. I really like both guys. We've seen them have battles. And what was that year? The year that
I think it was 2021. The one.
Yeah, it was the year when the Rams. Yeah, because I think
21.
It was the year the Rams won the Super Bowl, and the Chiefs and Bills played that game that was crazy high scoring. Really could have gone either way. That day was an insane because I remember the Rams and Buccaneers kind of had a wild ending in that game, and then the Chiefs Bills was right after that. So those are some, but again, that was another coin flip game that the scales tilted towards Patrick Mahomes, who kind of at the end of the day kind of got things done. So whether that is just riding the coattails of his defense or not, I feel like we're making him out to be Trent Dilfer here.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not saying he isn't good. He is good. And you know what? In the biggest games, he seems to win the games, and no one else in the league seems to beat him. I have not put my finger on the part
so crazy.
That somehow everyone's losing. I don't get it. That one I haven't figured out yet. But I don't know. I don't know why he keeps winning.
Listen,
So
if we
we
come into
will.
next year and he is putting up the same kind of stats, and let's say even because we could be having a completely different discussion, and some people might have a different outlook if the Chiefs have lost 3 games so far. But I think I think you might have a better argument if you get a couple more years of Mahomes, maybe showing signs of regression. Sam, just right now, it's not there,
Yeah.
bro. It's just not there. He is. If you have watched him over the years, I have, and maybe it's because of my age, right? I'm sure we all are different ages here. I mean, I have personally, I didn't get to grow up watching Tom Brady in his prime, right? So
Hmm.
I can't really say in my time. I love Josh Allen is my favorite quarterback, hands down. But I think when it comes to just moving out of the pocket, making the right decisions, not bitching, putting your team first, Mahomes is that guy. Um, Allen has too many of them bad traits that I think don't make him better than Mahomes. But Josh Allen is my favorite quarterback. I just think Mahomes does the game so much better. I don't know. Everyone's opinion is going to be different, bro. It's just tough. I just can't. I agree with you about this year, 100%. Uh, Mahomes, as the quarterback position is played, he is not even in my top 5. That's just what it is. But overall, Mahomes is up there, bro.
So, speaking of which, let me see if I can pull something up here while we were on the Josh Allen topic. So here's what we have here is that as they have, I don't know, yeah, Sam maybe had enough of the Mahomes conversation here, but Anthony Richardson, who just got benched by the Colts, and you look, this is first 10 career starts, and as I said, this is a guy who still he's only had 10 starts. He's the youngest quarterback in the league right now, 22 years old. What we've seen from him has been pretty bad, not good. Uh, Not a whole lot to be optimistic about. However, what we're seeing here is this is, let's get this over here.
Oh boy, guys, we're going to. By the way, they kicked me out, guys, because they disagree with my Patrick Mahomes. The
Yeah,
censorship in here is bad.
right. There was spreading. You got community noted. They're like, hey, this
Of
guy is
course.
down here trying to spread falsehoods, and he's trying to
So, are
instill
you?
panic into all the Patrick Mahomes truthers out there.
Yeah, of
So
course.
anyway,
Are you
I just wanted to throw
defending?
this in here as something that just as a quick note, as we were talking about Josh Allen, because this is a guy who, if he would have received the same treatment, he might not even still be playing right now because he just looks so horrendous that um, you know I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think?
I think Josh Allen's an outlier. I think there's a lot of guys that come into the league that have freakish athleticism, and you know what? If they figure it out, they would be the best quarterback to ever live. Like I'm sure if Anthony Richardson figured it out, like he'd be up there. There wouldn't be many guys that could compete with him athletically, um, or just like the physical attributes. But not everyone's Josh Allen. Not everyone turns it around. The other end of the thing is the Colts. The Colts. You drafted him. You knew he was going to be a project. So
Right,
I
right.
don't
Yeah.
understand the notion of like you drafted him, you let him start 10 games, then he gets benched. So like why not just let him play? You knew he wasn't going to be Patrick Mahomes walking into the league. Like I don't know.
I agree 100%. I don't get that. I mean, he is not. What is helping this guy? You brought him in. What is helping him on the sideline?
Nothing. Like I don't know.
Right. And that's
So
that's
what?
kind of where I feel is that you're not going to learn, they can say, "Oh, you can learn," but there's a certain point I mean, how much more is he going to learn? Like you're going to learn from playing. And here's the thing that I guess kind
Yes.
of bothered me is that both Shane Steichen the head coach, and Chris Ballard, the GM, they both said, look, it's going to be bumpy. It's going to be a little difficult at the beginning, but we're going to have him out there because you are going to learn by playing. They both said that. And then now it's kind of like a little bit of a reversal here. And I guess the counterpoint I heard that did make a little bit of sense is the problem that they have is that the rest of this roster, they're not like stacked, right? I mean, but there's talented guys. They have guys on this roster that, Michael Pittman Jr. and Josh Downs, and they have guys, and even on defensively, DeForest Buckner and Zaire Franklin. Like, they have guys who are in the prime of their career. And it's a hard sell in the locker room to those guys when I think nobody's going to sit here and argue, hey, they're better off. They're a better team right now with Richardson starting. Like, no, that's clearly not the case. But are you going to try and tell Michael Pittman, hey, man, we're trying to play for, 4 years from now or 3 years from now, or, those guys want to win right now. And I think with how bad Richardson's been, it would be tough you might lose those guys, and then maybe they start to kind of like tune out the head coach, and then it's kind of like some of that toxic mentality seeps in. That, and like I said, I'm not agreeing with it. I can understand that is where maybe the counterpoint could be. I just don't think having him on the bench is not helping. It's almost kind of like they say they're not giving up on him. They say that he is still part of the plans, but it's hard to reason with what we've seen so far.
I will say, if you're in the AFC, like, you have to go with the higher potential quarterback. Like, you're playing against legitimately, like, you have just in a few of the divisions, you have Mahomes, Herbert, Bo Nix is playing pretty good. You have CJ Stroud, you have Trevor Lawrence, you have Joe Burrow, you have Lamar Jackson, you have Josh Allen, you have Tua. Like, you have all these guys that are pretty good quarterbacks. Like, in your division, you're the third. If Joe Flacco's playing, you're the third best quarterback at best. And you actually might be worse than whoever Tennessee has. I don't know who Tennessee's starting, but whoever on that team, like, yeah, but like, I don't know. I would go with the higher upside quarterback and just let him play. Like, you're clearly not going to win. Like, you might as well just let him play.
That's what I'll be looking for. I mean, there's a way. I get where you're coming from, Zach, when it comes to like a team perspective. But at the same time, that's where like coaching comes in, and you kind of just got to explain, like, this is where we're at. Like, look
Sure.
around us. This is reality, and this is what we're shooting for. And you just get it through their heads. It is their job. At the end of the day, these guys are getting paid. This is their job. I don't want to hear shit. This is what you're doing. You go out there and you play every game just like you're playing to win. It does not matter what we're looking for. This is what you got to do. Everyone has a role. So I think it's on coaching to, if there is trouble like that, like, it's up to the coach to bring that team together.
Well,
And
right, and that's where it gets hard, because then you have guys like, even like, look at a guy like Josh Downs, right, who's still on his rookie contract, and there have been we've seen all the splits where this guy, whenever Flacco's in, his stats are considerably better than when Anthony Richardson's in. So that's really important to a guy like that. Like, who do you think he wants to play? Like, I think if you ask him, he's like, I want the guy who's going to get me the ball, who's going to put my stats up so that I can get a big contract when I'm up, right?
100%.
And that is where I think I could start to understand that side of it. However, it's just, you're not really setting yourself up very well moving forward. So speaking of setting yourself up poorly moving forward, I think we can get into our Thursday night matchup, Jets and Texans. Jets right now sitting at a 1.5 point favorite. We have a total at 42.5. This Jets team, as I've been saying for a couple weeks now, I think they are just one more Aaron Rodgers friend away from possibly turning everything around. That's all they're missing. Yeah, Jordy Nelson, if he's available, he could maybe fix this. Jermichael Finley, I don't know who is out there who is listening, but Randall Cobb, I thought, was already on his way. I have yet to see him suit up in New York, but Plug, I know you did a write-up here on this game. What do you see happening tonight in MetLife Stadium?
Okay, so this game has me absolutely dumbfounded. You guys know when I talk about most sports, especially on my show, it's always through a perspective. That's just who I am. It's how I look at sports. A lot of people don't agree with it that like to talk sports. It's just how I look at sports. And through a betting perspective, obviously, this game has me like what the fuck, right? Because where are the Jets in any aspect better than the Texans here? Why are we getting the Jets favored? Why is the line moving in favor of the Jets? All of this is a sign telling me 100% my money should be going on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets tonight. I cannot get there, bro. There is not a single thing that's making me think that Aaron Rodgers, everyone is waiting for Aaron Rodgers to just get better. Everyone is waiting for something to happen on the Jets. It's not going to happen. The difference between Rodgers now from what it was and what he is if you watch them Aaron Rodgers darts that he used to throw are now volleyballs, right? Like he don't have that. He ain't moving out the pocket. He ain't that guy, and it's just not there. Now, like you said, one more guy, right? Just one more. Let's get the coach up out of there. All right, good job. All right, let's bring in Devontae Adams. Awesome. It's not working. And what makes us I don't care if the Texans got injuries. I don't. I still think they're going to win this game. And even though the line through a betting perspective is telling me the Jets win this game, I can't do it, bro. Texans are the better team. I'm tired of waiting on Rodgers to get better. I'm tired of Devontae Adams, waiting for him to have a breakout game. I'm just tired of it. I feel like a lot of people are going to fall into this trap tonight where it's the same thing I'm looking at. It's like, wow, the Jets are favored. This got to be the night. You know what I mean? Like, this got to be the night the Jets are going to pop out. Not me, man. I'm on the Texans here. I will not be backing the Jets tonight.
Sam?
Oh my god. I'm actually very excited for this game because I hate the Jets. I think it's so fun.
Unlike
I
Sal.
don't
Sal couldn't
not
be
like
less
the Jets.
excited.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it. Yeah. I don't not like the Jets. I think the Jets are fine, but I think it's so funny when they lose. It's like seeing the Cowboys lose. Like I don't hate the Cowboys, but it's so funny to see them lose. Like the Jets, they were coming into the year. They thought they were going to be Super Bowl contenders. They are worse than New England. Like they lost to New England last week without their starting quarterback. Like they're not beating Houston, and maybe you know what? I can see this going one or two ways. They get blown out, they lose, and the season's over, or they win and hope is restored. Then it's like the Jets are back, and then they lose like 3 straight, which would actually be better. I hope they win tonight. So then it's like faith is restored. You see the Jets fans posting about it. Aaron Rodgers is back, and then the reality sets in and they lose next week. But no, I'm excited for the game. I don't think the Jets are going to win, but I hope they do.
Well, and here's the thing: we don't hear any other team that is 2-6 right now. You're not
cares.
like nobody's talking about the Titans. Nobody's talking about the
Browns,
like the Brown. Well, there's a little bit, but that's
because of other problems.
Yeah, they made a change at quarterback, and that there's maybe some more optimism there. But who are the other teams in the tank? Like the Jags, like they're irrelevant. Like they're dismissed. The Raiders, we've dismissed them. They're a non-factor. So I don't know why we are supposed to still keep taking. And I think maybe some of it is Jets fatigue because last year we had to deal with all their primetime games and seeing Zach Wilson.
This year they have primetime games.
Well, but last year there was Aaron Rodgers got hurt 10 seconds into the season, and they had all these. We just got the quarterback carousel all year long. So. Now, what I will say to plug is that, the Texans now are without Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins, right? So we've seen this offense is different without Nico. I mean, that guy was kind of like the engine he was their threat. And the first game without him, what was it? CJ Stroud threw for 89 yards passing, which, I mean, I had to do a double take. Like, is that even real to only have 89 yards of passing?
Do they have an update of when he's going to be back?
I think it's just kind of uncertain.
Actually, do you guys know Dr. Jeff Moore? I always forget this. It's Dr. Jeff Morse, big sports guy.
I see him tweet all the time.
Some things that I say is like, is he seeing patients? Because if he's not seeing patients, then he's just guessing like we are. But maybe that's a little dismissive.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm excited. He'll be on our spaces next week, so I'm excited.
Oh, nice. All right, well, I'll reserve.
I'm excited
that.
to ask him. I'm excited to ask him because like CJ Stroud's a different quarterback without Nico Collins.
Sure.
Now, I'm not saying that.
Look at Matt Stafford. Look at Matt Stafford without Kupp and Nakua, and like immediately, it was like 4 touchdowns against who had been one of the best defenses in the NFL. Yep. Immediately, he gets his guys back and he's slinging the ball. So
Okay, so does that? I get it.
That's why I think the Jets might win this game, and I hope they do. Right. I really hope they do.
I can't see it. This is still a team that's lost. They lost 3 straight games. As a favorite, nonetheless, they are 3-7 against the spread.
Who did they beat?
They are 3-7 straight up. This team is not there. The Texans already had a game without Collins. They already had a game. Well, no, this is their first game without Diggs, right?
He got injured last week.
Right, that's what I thought. But they've already had a game without Collins. I think they start to show. I mean, dude, this could be a humongous game for Mixon. I'm just saying that right now.
Paul, who did they beat? I know they beat Tennessee, and it was like a brutal game.
Yeah, they so the Jets beat.
They beat New England once and lost
New England
the second time.
They lost to the Steelers. They lost to New England.
They won 24-3.
Oh, they won and lost 1. You're right.
Yeah. 1-1.
Who's the other
they
one?
Beat Tennessee and New England.
Yeah, they got one more.
They lost 10-9 to the Broncos.
I just can't.
I think they only have 2 wins. I think they only have 2 wins, right?
Yeah, they're 2-6.
Oh, I thought there were 3.
They're 2-6.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah, dude, I just can't do it.
If they lose, yes, they are 2-6 right now.
Yeah, I can't do it, man. I'm sorry. I just can't. Either way I look at it, right? And like I said, through a betting perspective and reading lines, I can comfortably say that, and honestly, I can't comfortably say it now because I don't know if the public is actually going to be on the Texans here or not. I would think that the public money would be coming in on Houston. I would think that, but with such a big name as Stephon Diggs out, I can see a lot of people jumping ship and running to the Jets, and that's why we see a line like this.
So I see 64% tickets are on Houston. 53% money is on Houston. So,
hey guys, can I share my screen for 1 second?
Yeah.
Oh,
you should have
my whole screen.
You should have the ability.
Share my whole screen, isn't it? Well, I guess we're sharing my whole screen here.
Yeah, that's fine. No, we can do it like this.
Oh, perfect. Okay. How many games of these do you guys actually think they're going to win here? Like, yes, they have the Colts, but the Cardinals are pretty good. The Seahawks.
Zoom in a little. Good. See if you can zoom in a little. Yeah, there we go.
Those are their next games.
Oh yeah, this team is done to me.
Yeah,
like
done.
They've got the done chain.
They're losing to the Bills, the Rams, and the Dolphins twice.
I've already got the done chain on the Jets. Like they're write them off.
Guys, they might have like 3 wins left. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
And that means they are.
Now, have you guys heard? There's rumblings and rumors about maybe them bringing back Rex Ryan, and like not just from a headline grab. Like I've heard some like legitimate, credible sources that are saying that hey, there's real considerations because Woody Johnson, I guess, loves him and didn't really want to fire him in the first place. And, I don't know. That would
But
be
what's the point of that? Like, what do you like? Is that just
insane
rebuild?
because they're the Jets and they are a joke franchise and they just continue
They're
to
terrible. I actually think
make
they might be
clown
might be in the worst
decisions.
position.
Like they just don't know how to run a team like this. And
Yeah.
and here's the sad part. They have a great, who I think is actually a really, really good general manager in Joe Douglas. That guy in the draft picks that he's
drafted the whole
made,
defense.
like, you look through his draft picks, like not a whole lot of whiffs. He's made some really good picks. And he, depending on what you read between the lines, like he was kind of strong-armed and forced into making this Aaron Rodgers acquisition. And it just obviously, not.
But dude, Sal asked Plug.
I was just going to say, Plug, we do have a prop question here for you, Plug. If wondering if you should just smash some Mike Williams unders here, or I would think they got to trade him. Like, I feel like this is a guy that maybe needs to get traded, and when that's the case, it's maybe an opportunity to show. I'll just say, if you want to make a counterpoint to Mike Williams unders, because I can't defend any Mike Williams overs, like absolutely not. No way.
Yeah.
He's, for whatever reason, once you're on the Aaron Rodgers shit list, and like when you're not in his inner circle of guys that he trusts, like you're never going to see the ball. Like you're just out there doing cardio, running routes. So that's kind of what Mike Williams has been doing. And however, if you're trying to trade him, I'd try to feed him the rock and kind of like pump up that value, and then then you can ship him out. So,
but like, why would Aaron Rodgers care to do that?
He doesn't because Aaron Rodgers is on the Aaron Rodgers program.
You know what? I will say I hate Aaron Rodgers. I really do. My whole life he's beaten.
Yeah, for obvious reasons.
But you know what? I'm really hoping he doesn't extend his career much longer, because people are going to forget how good he actually was. Like that, like 2020 or 2019 through 2021, Aaron Rodgers was probably the best quarterback to ever touch a football.
Yeah,
like he wasn't winning playoff games.
His ability because I remember
skill.
Yeah.
Like the one year he threw it was like 40-something touchdowns and like 4 picks.
And they were all like
everyone
on his back foot, just kind of like flicking his wrist. I mean, because that was the thing. It was always the criticism is from a technical standpoint, like the people that break down, the way the mechanics and throwing mechanics. He was always like, don't teach quarterbacks how to play this way. But he was so like elite athletically that he could overcome that. He could still kind of do it. Yeah.
It's kind of like the Cam Newton thing. Like Cam Newton played an extra few years with New England, and now people really don't remember how good Cam Newton actually was. I think it'll be the same way with Aaron Rodgers. Like it'll be like he'll play a few more years, and then he's looked at like in a different frame.
Well, what a shame! Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
I'm not
I don't think that. Like, don't get me wrong, man. Aaron Rodgers was a great quarterback, and he will always be looked at as a great quarterback.
Sure.
But man, sometimes it's just gone.
It's over.
And I'm telling y'all, it's gone. Everyone is waiting for that Aaron Rodgers special to happen. It's not, bro. It's not coming. You can just see it coming off his hand. It's not there. Like I said, bro, I can't say it any better. Them darts that Aaron Rodgers used to throw, them special quick out of the pockets, them bitches are they are lobs to the defense.
Yeah, dude.
Like, it's gone, guys. It's gone.
Too many hits, a few too many ayahuasca retreats, I guess.
Right. I think maybe he might actually want to try to take one in a game.
Well, don't count it out. Don't count it out.
I won't.
So what we will do now, we'll look at tonight, and then while we're waiting, I want you guys to, while I'm pulling this up, Plug, you go first, and then Sam, what is your favorite Halloween candy?
Halloween candy?
I already know Plugs. Plugs is going to be like Almond Joy.
No. What?
No, Plugs might be Payday.
No, do you guys remember? A candy? I can't find them anymore. It was back in the day, when I was younger. They were called Razzles.
What is
No,
a razzle?
oh, dude, it's like a bubble gum candy. I don't know, but I'm telling you, I don't think they make them anymore. But they were called Razzles. That's my favorite
Mm.
candy. But when it comes to Halloween and chocolate, it's got to be Reese Pieces, man. I love Reese Pieces. Anything with peanut butter.
Mm.
Okay, well, don't hate that, Sam. What about for you?
Dude. It's got to be like, oh, dude. Sour Patch is no Laffy Taffy. It's got to be
Yeah.
Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, I feel like anything like I'm always down with anything gummy. The Haribo gummies, like the Sour Patch Kids,
Oh, yeah.
you know. But if you're gonna do chocolate, it's Butterfinger for me. I will say for anybody who has never seen it before, rest in R.I.P. in peace to Mike Leach. If you've never seen the Mike Leach breakdown, where he gave the old college football coach, right, Washington State and Mississippi State. You got to look up Mike Leach Halloween candy. Just search that into YouTube. It's incredible. He gives a full like breakdown of at a press conference. Because we're in the middle of college football season, right? He gives a full press conference breakdown of the best Halloween candies.
That's
Uh,
great.
and it's
Dude,
like it's so I think it was in a sideline interview. It was like on the field, like during either before or after a game, and he gives this full breakdown Halloween candy. It's fantastic.
we know
Love Mike Leach.
Sal is not from America because I don't know what a cherry blaster is.
Yeah, I don't know what
Definitely
that
not
is
top
either.
five.
Yeah.
Sal is
A
not top
cherry
five.
blaster.
Yeah, that
Sal,
sounds
Whoa.
like
get
some
your-
Canadian stuff.
Yeah, no.
You
This is
don't know
why
what a cherry
Canada is
blaster
Canada.
is. Well, how do you
No.
guys feel about when you walk up to a house and they give you like an apple?
Just like,
Like, don't you
dude, you
feel
know what?
like
I
just
would never
busting
do
that
that,
shit
dude.
on
If
I
the?
don't know why
I
people
would
do
not do
that.
that.
That seems like it would be expensive.
It's
Not only would
weird.
that be expensive, people are just gonna throw it back at your house. Like you're asking
Right.
for
Yeah.
like
It's
damages.
weird, bro. You're asking for apples to be busted on your sidewalk.
Unless
Like,
you have an apple tree, like that can't be the right way to go.
it doesn't make sense, man. Like you'll see your kid come home with like 3 apples, a banana, and like who knows what else, bro. And you're like what the hell is this? Like, where did you get this from?
Dude,
I don't know.
what do
You
you know?
guys might be younger. You guys might be younger, but I remember there was always like, oh my god, there are people the crazy people are putting razor blades in Halloween candy.
Oh
And
yeah, that
Yeah,
was
I
back in
always
the
heard about
day.
that, but I never.
I don't know if anyone ever saw it happen, but
Well,
oh,
they're
here we
trying to
go.
stop all that kind of stuff and all like the kids and all that. They're doing the trunk or treats now. So
Mm,
it's like really, it's no
I don't
more.
know.
They're Yeah, it's like no more going to houses. It's like a whole bunch
Mm.
of people get together and everyone's in a big
Yeah.
parking lot and you do trick or treat out of a trunk. That's what's going on around
That's
my
a bit
area.
odd.
Yeah, because that's what's going on in Jersey. We got a lot of people doing like trunk or treats, man. Like where they're trying to stop kids from going to houses. And that's always another weird thing, man. We used to have in like a neighborhood. There will always be that one house that made you come inside and
Oh
take
no,
the
no, no. That's a hard
Yes,
pass.
bro.
Look,
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
know.
no,
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
know. That might
bro,
be
there's
just you.
always that
No,
one
no, no,
house,
no,
bro.
no, no.
Yeah,
That you
they have
can't
like
do
a whole
that.
buffet out on a table.
Man.
Like you guys never had that house.
We had one
You
that would
can
have
do
like hot
the
dogs.
buffets and the coolers and stuff, but that has to be a garage situation.
No, there's always
Not
that one
an
house that
inside
make
the
you go in
house.
their living
Plug that.
room and
Plug.
they got like
No,
That's
a
no,
only.
whole
no.
thing. Yeah.
No, that's only a you thing, plug. I don't know what neighborhood you were in,
Hey
but
man, I'm just saying I've always had that one house, man, that you gotta kind of
Oh
avoid.
no, not that. We don't want to see that.
I'm
Okay.
gonna go. I'm
Here we
gonna go
go.
to this.
All right. So as we look on Thursday, Texans right now 52% in the app, 47%. That checks out. That's probably about it's a coin flip game, 1.5. Can't say I disagree with the community picks here. Plug best pick on the board this weekend. We can go NBA, we can go NHL or NFL. I'll leave that up to you. What do you like best looking at this weekend's board?
For this weekend,
Yeah.
All
It could
right.
be. I
So
mean, you could go tonight if you want, but I think we kind of already stated our pieces there.
yeah, no, I'll take it to NFL. I'll take it to NFL for this week. I'll give you my best outright winner here. I know I gave you guys a dog last week. I don't think it worked out well. I mean, this is a pretty clear cut winner for me, and it's going to be the Buffalo Bills. I think they're going to beat up on the Dolphins. I think they're probably going to beat them by at least 2 touchdowns. We're in Buffalo. I don't care if Tua's back. Let people ride that train as much as they want. I think Josh Allen comes in here and throws that ball all up and down this Dolphins defense. I don't even think it's going to be. I don't even think it's going to be close. I love the 6. So I'm going to be laying the points with the Buffalo Bills.
All right. Well, we got Bills there. Sam, what's your pick here in the NFL or NHL or NBA? Best pick on the
I'll
board
tell you
this weekend.
my absolute lock is
Probably.
Cincinnati beating.
I was gonna say I can't believe you're not picking against the Chiefs.
Um, that's a by the way,
There
that's
was
an
such a
upset
horrible
watch.
quarterback under center.
Upset watch. Well, yeah, Baker Mayfield's playing better than Patrick Mahomes, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Who are the
Um,
Chiefs playing?
Tampa on Monday.
Oh
that's
man, they're about to
upset
get
alert.
smoked.
Upset
Yeah,
alert. But
we
anyway,
have Tampa Bay, Kansas City on Monday, Colts, Vikings on Sunday night.
jeez, that's a brutal Sunday night game. I will say Bears. I like Bears over the Cardinals, and I love Cincinnati over the Raiders. That's my part.
Cincinnati over the Raiders. Here we go, up here. So, wow. 66% right now on the Raiders. So, very surprising picks there. So, you're taking the Bengals. We got Bengals, Bills. You gave us a bonus pick in the Bears on the road at Arizona. Let's see. I mean, I would say Baltimore. I mean, I don't know if that's try to take some of the closer ones. I mean, although granted they were favored by even more last week and lost, and I think a lot of us liked the Browns last week. So,
I didn't. Y'all called that to a T.
well, yeah.
I like the Ravens in that one.
Yeah, last week we liked the Browns and the Rams both winning as dogs. I think this week, you said the Bills plug.
Yeah, I'm on the
You
Bills.
said the Bills, Browns, Chargers. I think.
No, dude, I hope Dallas loses.
I was just gonna say that is, man. We're running tight on time here, but that game is crazy to me that it's so short. Like that line seems so short to me. It's 2.5. Like, why? Why would Atlanta not be? I don't know. Like, what have we seen from Dallas? This team stinks.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
because
like
of
this
you're
team
getting the name,
stinks.
bro. You're
Dude,
getting
they're
the
like
name.
they're like the Jets. They're like the Jets, except they're paying their quarterback $60 million to do nothing. Their quarterback actually thinks it's worse.
I'm all over the Falcons, bro.
What
I'm on the
game?
Falcons.
What game would you guys have to be paid to watch more? Titans, Patriots, or Panthers, Saints?
Oh, I think Titans, Patriots. Oh wait, is Drake May playing?
I don't think so. I think it's Jacoby.
Then definitely that game.
And
Yeah, I'll
that's
probably
bad.
watch the Panthers game.
yeah. So yeah, I'll take the Ravens, and I tell you what, I think I would side with the Eagles. As I've said, I've been saying for weeks, I think this Jacksonville team stinks. I think Trevor Lawrence stinks.
Whoa!
We've been over this. We've covered this multiple times.
Oh, I know.
I think that, it's just, I'm glad we don't have to hear or talk about them. I mean, they are basically the Southern version of the Jets. Like, just this team that we're led to believe is good, and they are not good. They don't win games, and they look terrible. They're not even fun to watch.
You know what?
So.
You know what I'm going to do, guys? Tonight, I'm going to make a mountain of all my quarterbacks, and I'm going to rate them in order, just for Zach. And Trevor Lawrence is going to be a lot higher than people think.
Trevor
Well,
Lawrence.
I hope you don't rank them by playoff wins because it might not look might not be a very rosy picture for him there. But all right, well, so that wraps up our weekend picks. Last day of the month, so still a little bit of opportunity to get up the leaderboard, cash prizes for anybody who is kind of within that range. And like I said, a lot of games, a lot of opportunities to get some more points. So NBA, NHL, NFL, college football. So plenty of chances to get things going. So any other just kind of closing thoughts that you guys had, or
No, I just gotta say sorry, guys, for taking the whole time ranting about Mahomes and Halloween candy. Zach just needs to be he needs to be led in the right direction. He's way off the rails, guys.
man,
I think it was a good. I thought it was a really good. It was really good for the show. Everyone loves. You know, everyone loves controversy, man. It just makes a good
Oh,
show.
Zach breeds it. I mean, every time he gives a opinion, I mean, it's a shot at one of the quarterbacks I like.
I defend Caleb Williams. I'm a Caleb Williams
That's fine.
defender.
Yeah, that's fine.
The closest quarterback to your heart, I at least defend him. So
I've heard
true.
Zach say some really good things about Caleb Williams.
yeah, I think he's the real deal. He's going to get better. Just please, I hope they get some offensive line help so that he's not just running for his life all the time. So
Fair. All right, guys, I gotta pop out. This was a great show.
Yeah.
Be sure you're checking out Plug's Discord, and be sure you're checking out the Tenement app, and be sure you're watching Zach because usually he'll post some hot takes. But I'm gonna make my mountain, and I'll get back to you guys.
This is probably where you'll see the mountain here on Sam running the Wolf Sports Twitter account. You can find the quarterback mountain and make sure that you comment on how ridiculous it is for Mahomes to be at the bottom. So
I will have a comment on that.
Yeah,
I can't
please.
Wait to see it.
Yeah, we need to retweet that to get the word out on how absurd of a take that is.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
And as always, get in there on the Plug stream. I know I try to watch a little bit every day, pick up. He goes through the whole board every single day, 7 days a week. Good opportunity to kind of pick up some little tips here and there on every game, every day. So if you missed it today, there's still time to go to the YouTube, watch the replay of it before the games start up tonight here in a few hours, and then if not, get in there tomorrow and figure it out, tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So every single day he is firing off Sports Alpha, giving everybody hot picks. So outside of that, we have our 3 spaces every week. Make sure you're tuning into those. Outside, I hope everybody has a happy Halloween. Hope you get some nice apples, bananas, Sour Patch Kids, or maybe even if you're lucky, you can get some cherry blasters for Halloween.
Yeah, find some razzles and cherry blasters in your bag.
Yeah, can't wait. So thank you guys, and we will see you next week.
Yep, thanks for having me on, Tenement.
All right, thanks.
Yep.